Hi, Tech from Techo.com. Now, as you all know from reading my blogs or watching these videos, I'm a real firm believer in planning in your business and how you create those plans. And I've given you a lot of tips and ideas through years about how you go through a process of planning for your business, whether it's a business plan, a strategic plan, or a marketing plan. But let me ask you this. You've written your plan. You've had your think tank together in the business, or you wrote one together, and now you've got your plan. What do you do with it? How do you communicate that plan to the people that you need to communicate it to? Do you need to communicate it? Well, yes, of course you do, because even if you're a solo entrepreneur, there are people you need to talk to about that plan, if nothing more than, say, your spouse. But there are other people. You need to talk to your team, whether they be contractors or VAs, even if you're a solopreneur. But otherwise, if you're running a small business, you'll have some employees that you need to talk to. You can't keep them like mushrooms somewhere. If you've created a plan that's going to affect people's futures because they are connected to you and your business somehow, you do have to communicate that plan. So how do you do it? Now, remember that people hate change, okay? So a new plan represents change in one form or other. So once you understand that, there are 4 steps you can take to explain this new plan that you've created. The first thing in your communication of the plan is to lay it out as if it were a new opportunity, which it is. It's about a big opportunity. Describe the winning future for your business and describe how everybody benefits from that better picture, that new horizon to which you're planning towards. Win them over by the fact that you're not just doing it on a whim, you're actually planning out a longer term and sustainable future for your business. The second communication tactic is to create this new picture. Having described what it looks like when you get there, talk to them about what we must all do in order to get there, how much effort we might have to put in, but designed in such a way that everybody will enjoy the experience and how worth it is to go down that route. The third communication tactic is to then discuss the strategic initiatives that you have to do to get there. Describe it as a big picture so that it creates excitement about the journey. Make the point that if it's designed well, the journey will be enjoyable. And it's a good point at that stage to ask them about how they would react to it and how they might actually help you to get to that bigger picture, that final ultimate vision that you're trying to attain. Because if you're asking people for help, you're starting to engage them into the overall journey. And then fourthly, the communication tactic that you could use is tell people what's required of everyone so it doesn't become a surprise. If you've laid out the picture correctly, you've got a great idea that you're moving towards, a great vision, you've provided a pathway of how to get there and what we must all do in order to benefit. You've laid out in big picture terms what the strategic change initiatives are, what your planning initiatives are, the actions you're going to take in broad detail, in broad picture without the detail at this stage. You then tell people what's required of everyone so that it's not a surprise to them when you ask them to do things. At this stage, it's probably then worthwhile to talk to people individually or in smaller groups and describe the detail of these changes and these planning steps that you're going to take, and then bring them on board, workshop it with them if you will, and make sure that people are engaged with what's going to go on. And then ultimately, you have to keep talking about this over and over and over again, because the first time somebody hears about a change, the natural reaction is a pushback. But if you keep talking and persuading and going through these 4 steps, gradually people get to understand the big picture before they have to deal with the smaller little details. And then ultimately, provide them with something in writing that kind of summarizes what you're telling them and lays out for them the journey that's going to come ahead. I call that a plan on a page, where you start on the left-hand side of a page with the ultimate vision of what you're trying to achieve, and then you flow on that with the objectives that you're trying to get to, the strategies and the strategic initiatives, and then the things people need to do. And that way it's laid out for them in advance. Okay, if you want to know more about these strategies and tactics and tips and ideas about how to create strategic initiatives and grow your business, get over to my website at teikoh.com, teikoh.com.